On the Wado Radio Show.
Of course, it's DJ Wado. It's the Wado Radio Show. It's more than music. It's ministry, man. And we got a first-time guest on the show. I've known this dude for a long time, man. We've had some really dope conversations, but I've actually never had him on the show. And I'm happy to have him on, man. Dee-1, representing New Orleans, man. What's up, homie?
Wow, what's happening, my brother? I'm glad to be on here with you finally, bro.
Hey, well, let me say this, man. I'm glad, I feel privileged, actually, that you would take time out during Mardi Gras of all times to come holler at me, man. I'm humbled by that, dude.
Yeah, man. Like you said, we got a relationship that's beyond just a random person reaching out to do an interview. So when you hit me, I'm like, man, we got to make time for this. So, yeah, bro, it's really crazy down here during Mardi Gras, especially with my EP just dropping. And it's something that I place value in our relationship. So I'm here.
I appreciate that, man. And I know Mardi Gras means so much because your city means so much. It's like when I think of New Orleans, you are one of the first things that comes to mind. Like obviously Gumbo, the Saints, and then Dee-1.
Yeah, I mean that's about right, man. Yeah, I would say Gumbo, the Saints, and Dee-1. That's probably the top three, interchangeably, depending on who you speak to. That's it, man. So I got the mayor of New Orleans down here screaming, be real, be righteous, be relevant, throwing his threes up. So everybody from the mayor to the faith-based community, the churches, all the way to the hood, man. You know, like cats is rocking with the threes up movement down here, bro. And that's something different. Because all we used to is Lil Wayne, Young Money, Cash Money, No Limit, Master P. That's all bounce music, people like Big Frida and all that stuff. But other than that, man, it's just something new. And it just dawned on me that I'm not really following what any of my predecessors did. Like I'm literally carving out my own niche in New Orleans hip-hop history. Yeah. It's almost like, wow, like it really just fully clicked to me. So I'm like, all right, cool. Like I take pride in that now.
Man, the first song, and obviously this wasn't your first song, but the first time that I heard you was the 50 J and Weezy video. Somebody had shared that with me, and I saw it, and it wasn't a song where it was like there was anything explicitly Christian about it. But I could tell, I was like, man, this dude is a Christian. And, man, I searched all over to try to find out how to contact you to figure it out, man. And it's interesting that you mentioned that contrast because that record, and I've always wanted to ask you that, man, like, did you think that record was going to be as big as it was? And then was there any hesitation given that, I mean, look, man, Wayne is from your city. Like, he might have even seen it as disrespectful.
Yeah, so I did know it was going to be big. I did because when I wrote the song originally, I was like, yo, I got to put a video to this track. And it took a year and a half to actually get the video finished, to that song. But I stuck with it. I was like, nah, I was going through everything, man, like trying to pull a video together for it. It was just difficult, and probably was just the devil trying to prevent something great from happening. And I stuck with it, stuck with my guns, and we shot it and we put it out. I knew it was going to be a big song. I can't even front, bro. And did I have hesitation? Yeah, I did. For the same reason you just said, this is a small city, a small industry. It's a small industry. And Shade 50 and Weezy, they can all be touched. Like, it's only a couple degrees of separation. But especially Lil Wayne, down here, oh, man, that's like, I'm talking about very few degrees of separation between me and that brother. And I think that's where my faith kicked in, though, in terms of, following the Holy Spirit, in terms of saying, yo, I need to do this. And I can't predict what the outcome is going to be, but there's something in my gut that's saying, do this. This is going to be for the greater good, not just for you, Dee-1. Like, you have to do this, whether or not you're afraid or not. So I pressed the green light on it, and I green lighted it, and it came out. And he definitely heard it. I know that much. He definitely heard it. I know 50 heard it. And I'm pretty sure Jay-Z heard it, but I know for a fact Lil Wayne did.
Wow. I was going to ask you, have you, because I know there was a time where, you know, there was some consideration about them wanting you to be a part of that situation. Like, have y'all ever talked about that song, either directly or, you know, kind of through people?
Man, one of the reasons why I didn't sign with him is because through all of my talks and all of my flying to Miami and getting in the studio, recording with him and all that, I never actually met Lil Wayne.
Wow.
You hear me? So, right. So, no, we didn't talk about that. And that's one of the reasons why I couldn't really go forward with that situation. Now, I talked to Slim, I talked to Baby, but I ain't even meet Lil Wayne, man. Like, so I've never even met dude since I've been a rapper. I met him once when I was a kid before I started rapping, just on some fan type stuff. Actually, I actually worked at an electronics store and I installed a TV into his car when I was in high school. But
Yo, that's so random.
It's very random, and it's called Circus City. That was the name of the store.
Oh yeah, I remember Circus Cities. Yeah.
All right, bet. So that's the only time I really met dude, but I wasn't even rapping in high school, so.
Yeah. That's crazy, bro. Crazy, man. So man, let's talk about this new EP, man. I mean, I know you've been hard at work, man. It's major label debut. You had the iTunes charts popping, man. Just how does it feel to finally get this project out?
It just feels like a big exhale when you've been holding your breath for like 10 months straight, and somebody's like, all right, on February 17th, we're going to finally let you exhale. It's like, man, you know how good this about to feel. So, yeah, but those songs, I mean, to be real with you, dog, you know, I'm going to keep it all the way gutter with you. To be honest, man, those songs are like a year old, man. Yeah, but except for the Sway interview. The Sway interview was brief. I did that after I did my interview with Sway. So I probably wrote that song in like November of 2014. But the rest of those songs, yeah, man, them songs like a year old, man. So I was ready to get the music out. Yeah, I'm on like 3 projects past the Threes Up EP right now. That's like where my pen is in terms of what I'm writing right now. But yeah, that's just coming out, bro.
Yeah, I mean, so what took you so long to put it out then? Or I shouldn't say you, but just the whole situation, because it's what a label.
Yeah, you know, bro, like being signed is very different from being fully independent. And I still have a lot of autonomy. I'm still independent in a lot of ways, which I'm thankful for. But yeah, being signed is just different, man. There's a lot more checks and balances. A lot more chains of command that the music has to go through in order for it to come out. So you can't just finish a project and then put it out in 2 weeks. Like I used to go to CD Baby or TuneCore and bam, just throw something up. Or really just throw it up for free. I've been putting out free music mostly my whole career.
Yeah, you had a lot of free
music.
Put
it up for free.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I, finish a project on Thursday and have it up, by Monday, literally on the website for free download. That's what I was used to. This stuff is different, bro. It's like, yeah, it is just way different. So I learned it now, though, and I know the system, so it'll never be a big delay like this again in my life. Like, honestly, while people are still, enjoying, the Threes Up EP and everything, yeah, like I'm already working on what's next for y'all, and it'll never be a big delay like that. I put my word on that.
Yeah. Let me ask you this, man, because I've always felt like, just with you as an artist, like you fit in well in a lot of different spaces. Like, obviously you're here on my show, but you're very comfortable on Sway's show, in all different types of places, man. And I know traditionally the music industry has said you either got to be this or you got to be that. And you're kind of a mix of a lot of different things, man. Like, how do you kind of see yourself, moving and fitting into the industry, where it is right now, bro?
Yeah, I don't fit into the industry. The industry is fitting into me at this point, right? Yeah. And that's the only way I'm gonna continue to rap straight up. Like I used to I used to really put thought into that type of question, and I'm ashamed that I ever even cared about that, man. I don't care about I don't care about fitting into this industry at this point, man. Like I care about making music that makes God and my grandma proud, and I'm straight. Yeah, man. So like that's it, bro. Like that's it. At that point, whatever I fit into, man. You know how the new thing is, I'm not a Christian rapper anymore. You know how a lot of people say that stuff.
Yeah.
But I'm not one of them people that I'm not on that train. I'm not on that wave. Like I just feel like, yo, I'm just gonna make the music, and whatever people are gonna call it, like we can't really tell them what to call it or what not to call it. Wow. They're gonna receive it. You know, I used to be a teacher, so I could teach something, and Tommy Burns, you know, could sit there, my little student, and he could have that light bulb go off in his head, like, man, I get it. Like, I understand this math that Mr. Augustine is teaching me. But the dude sitting right next to him, you know, Justin Jackson, could be sitting there still struggling, still like, I don't get it. So it's the same message, but it's being interpreted differently by two different people. And that's how music is. So it's like, why even, at this point, why go through telling people what I am or what I'm not? It's like they gonna think what they think regardless.
Yeah. It's, man, you know, it's crazy, bro, because I remember us having this conversation. You know what I'm saying? Like I remember us having this conversation multiple times, and it's kind of dope to hear you say that, because I almost feel like just what you said, like, man, we should have never even had to have this conversation. Like, it was clear we both love the Lord. So what's it matter if you're a Christian rapper, you're not a Christian rapper, I'm a Christian DJ, I'm not a Christian DJ. We both trying to honor God with what we doing.
Right. But you know what it is, man. And the truth is, you know, the truth is something that I can't sugarcoat. You know, I'm very intelligent, so I know how to give political answers. But the non-political answer is, I mean, the only reason people try to dictate it is because we'll be worried about if I get labeled as this, then I won't be able to reach, you know, as massive of an audience as I want to reach, you know, things of that nature. And my thing is, I talked about it on my Sway interview. It's not about who we want to reach at this point. You know, like I realize in life, it's about, you know, being a good steward of the gifts and the talents God has given us, and whoever we are meant to reach, that's who we're going to reach, you know. But it's something to where, yeah, man, like I'm not into trying to, you know, dictate to people what it is I am, because either way, you know, people just want to be heard and want to have a platform to get their art out there, and that's all this stuff boils down to, man. If people want to have a bigger platform and feel like having a Christian tag associated with it is going to hinder their platform, then from growing, then, you know, you'll get like, yo, I'm not that. And I'm speaking on this because I'm speaking to myself.
Yeah. When
I say all this, I'm not sugarcoating this. I'm not throwing subliminals at nobody. I'm talking about myself, man. I used to be that dude, like you said.
Yep.
I put that video out in 2010, dog. Like, I was still teaching, you heard me? I was to the point where, like, of course, you can tell through it. You have discernment. You're a Christian yourself. You can tell this brother is a Christian.
Yeah.
But let somebody come up to me, like yourself, you know, and really, you know, heavily say, yo, we want to, you know, put your music on this or that outlet or something like that. I'd be like, oh, whoa, hold on, put the brakes on that, because that's a Christian website. Like, hold on, I don't want to be classified as that. Like, I'm trying to reach the hood, man. Like, what you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not trying to reach the Sunday school, you know, goers. So, yeah, bro, I'm talking to myself when I say that. Like, it's not about that stuff, man. And I think who's suffering is the youngsters. The youngsters are suffering because they need people to look up to. So the youngsters are the ones who are like, so am I a Christian rapper? Am I not a Christian rapper? Is it better to just say, no, I'm just a rapper who's a Christian?
Yep.
Like, they confused, man. They really are confused because it's like, well, shoot. I need somebody to look up to, and the people I'm looking up to, you know, I don't know what they are anymore, so, you know, I don't know what I am moving forward. That's what a lot of people are going to go through. And so if they look up to me, whoever's looking up to me, I just want them to move forward, not trying to overly claim or shun a certain title, but just like, yo, like be yourself, man. Be yourself, and everybody's platform ain't meant to be the same. That's another thing, bro.
Yeah.
A lot of people need to stop rapping. Number one, not too many people rap. That's number one. So people ask you these questions about like, yo, should I do this? What should I do? Give me some advice. Like some people, their best advice is, I really wish you would just stop, man, because you know, like it's overpopulated. This room got too many people in it, you know, like somebody. This elevator is too packed. Somebody got to get off, you know. So that being said, that's the case with a lot of people. But with other people, it's just about understanding, yo, only get into this game, you know, if you're doing it to impress, you know, to fulfill your purpose in life. Like, and if rapping or being in entertainment ain't part of your larger God-given purpose in life, then you probably shouldn't even be in it. And if that's the case, then whatever God puts on your heart, if you're in tune with what his purpose is for you, then you'll also be in tune with who your audience should be. Should my audience just be believers? Should it just be people in the church? Should it be people outside of, you know, the church and whatnot? Like, now I'm taking the hardest route known to man right now, dog. Like, I'm taking the hardest route because I started out, you know, I could have said, well, I'm going to be explicitly Christian coming out the gate and hurry up and shoot, you know, like shoot to the top in that genre and then try to integrate myself into mainstream. But me, no, I did it backwards. I said, man, I'm going to be explicitly Christian, but I'm going to, like, try to blow up in mainstream first with no cosign, which a lot of artists have, no cosign, no label, no nothing, my whole career. I'm going to try to do it that way, and then, you know, and then try to make the transition over, you know, into that. I remember talking to Lecrae on the phone. First time I ever talked to him on the phone, he called me. I was at my crib. I had a crib in Atlanta a few years ago, and he called me. And I remember telling him that on the phone, like, man, this is kind of, you know, where I'm at. I feel like this is, you know, this is how I started out in this game, and I'm over here. I was like, but I don't see myself staying over here forever, bro. I don't see myself staying over here in just mainstream. I'm like, I'm just learning about people like you. I'm just learning about the whole Christian rap world. And I was like, honestly, I have a desire to move over and to integrate more into that because I am one of y'all. I'm like, dude, I am one of y'all. I'm just not, I didn't know about this. Like, Lil Wayne never rapped about that, and that's all I listened to growing up. Master P never rapped about that. That's all I knew was that stuff. Like, there was no Christian hip-hop industry down here, you know what I mean? So that's, yeah, bro, and that's, so I'm taking, like, you know, a very unorthodox route, and I think it's something that's fit for me to be able to do, though, because I'm doing it, and I'm here, so, yeah, man, it's crazy. It's crazy.
Take me into your mind when you're writing your music. Like, when you wrote these songs, obviously the Sway interview is different because you just wrote that most recent. But the other songs on the EP, take us into your mind as you wrote those, because obviously you have these multiple audiences. And like most artists, they could just say, okay, I'm just writing for Christians, or I'm just writing for a select group of Christians, you know, like, you know, black, white, Hispanic, whatever, or I'm just writing for, you know, the mainstream or people that, you know, live in my city or whatever the case may be. But obviously you know, you're kind of in multiple different spaces, man. So like when you're writing, you know, who are you formulating in your mind? Like, this is who I'm talking to.
When I write these songs, that's a good question, man. I might need to start thinking about that because I really don't think about that when I write. I just
you just write.
I really just write. Like, I wrote My Student Got Murdered the same night I got the text message. I wrote the first verse at least the same night I got a text message from another student that, yo, you know, you're one of your former students who you used to teach such and such got murdered. I just wrote it without thinking. I just wrote it, you know, based on getting that news. Against Us you know, that was literally the only song in my whole career that I've heard the beat, and as soon as I heard the beat, I just ran into the booth and I told him, I said, press record real quick. And the Lord's Prayer, the Our Father prayer just came to my head.
Wow.
And I just spit that, and the whole hook literally came together in like 10 seconds, man. And so that, you know, I just did that. I said some stuff on that song that might make people upset, you know, in the second verse when I say, like, talk about, you know, black people. We tore up from the floor, backstabbing, conniving, and plowing. We need to grow up. Every rapper talking about taking somebody's girl. Everything on TV over sexualized. Man, I really hate this word. Like, that's just how I was feeling. And it wasn't like, okay, I performed that song at Flavor Fest. You know what I'm saying? That's not a song you ideally write when you say, all right, I'm going to go to Flavor Fest and perform this. But I also performed it yesterday in front of 5,000 people at Mardi Gras underneath this bridge at the end of one of the parades. You know, that's the straight hood. That's the straight hood, you know, so I'm performing the same song. So it's like, yeah, I don't really write my songs for an audience. I just write them, and man, I'm just gonna keep doing that, man. Like I'm just. Well,
I was gonna say, I don't want to change you because this is working for you. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, it's working, bro. Like, I almost feel like if I could be truthful, a lot of people overthink it, and their songs become really like formulaic.
Yeah, because they put themselves because they put themselves in a box, and now they're like, yo, I don't want to upset anyone, you know, in this box who's expecting something from me. My thing is, from the time you have known Dee-1, you know to expect anything from him. He could be calling people out. He could be rapping about a female, like the one that got away. He could be rapping saying, I'm not perfect, I'm a Christian, you know what I'm saying? Yep. He could be doing all this stuff, and y'all been knowing that from day one if you've been listening to my stuff. He could just be, you know, spitting with punchlines and all that. And that's what my brand is. So, yeah, for me, it's less of that stuff. And I think that's just my formula, man. Like, that's just how I'm coming. That whole being in the box stuff. I think my brand is the fact that, you know, I've never been in the box. You know what I'm saying?
I want to ask you this about I'm Not Perfect, I'm a Christian. Like, that might be my favorite song of yours. But, and I almost feel like that was, I don't know if it was the first, but I know it was definitely one of the first where you were really explicit about your faith in that song. But I almost felt like that song might have actually, and I mean, you tell me what it was, but it almost might have resonated more with non-believers, because a lot of times non-believers feel like, man, I got to clean myself up, then I'll come to church. And here you are saying, yo, fam, I'm already in church. I'm already a Christian. I'm a believer, but I'm not perfect. You know, and so I'm just curious, like, just the response that you might have gotten, you know, from people in that space that necessarily weren't in the church with that record, man.
Right. They salute me for that. You exactly right, man. A lot of people who are not in the church really salute me for that, because they know, like, man, this dude being authentic, man. This dude not trying to come around us, and when he come around us, the only songs he want us to hear from him are, you know, his kind of hard songs, his kind of edgy songs. It's like, nah, songs. Like, this dude, like nah, like, it's not that. So, yeah, people really respect my mind for that stuff, and it's cool. You know, I'd be really curious to see what people, you know, and when I say in the church, like, I just performed at a church down here. Matter of fact, a huge church down here in New Orleans a couple of days ago, and I did that song actually, and man, it went, oh my gosh, it went ham in there, and they loved it. Like, every generation from teenagers all the way to grandparents, you know, really understood and loved the transparency. But yeah, oftentimes I wonder, so I'm gonna put a video to that song, and when I put a video, to me that'll be, because I don't get on blogs, you know what I'm saying? I don't get on blogs. If something run across my timeline or something on social media, cool, I see it. But I don't get on blogs and overly study the stuff to know how people, you know, just their consumption habits. So I don't know if the Christian audience, I don't know how they feel about it. I don't know, you know, what they feel. I think it's just something to where I don't want people to ever question, you know, is Dee-1, like, is the Dee-1 brand safe for us to spend our money with, because he's not on reach, and he's not, you know, and he never fully been in their box, you know, like he's kind of new on the scene. I don't want people to question the Dee-1 brand, so I think that, like, doing a song like that, if I was really worried about just fitting into mainstream, it's like I wouldn't do a song like that. You know what I'm saying? That stuff takes it takes boldness. So,
hey, well, look, man, why don't you shoot that video in New York so I could be in it, man?
Man, look, I might do that, dog. I'm serious. I know a couple people, bro, and I need me a good hype man in that video, man.
There you go, man. I'll be right there with you, rapping that joint with you, dog.
yeah. So I'm on, and I'm excited. You know, I changed the beat on that song because the original version had a different beat to it.
Yeah.
And that sample, bro, that's the first time in my career I really got hit with like seeing like, oh goodness, like this sample gonna cost an arm and a leg to clear. So yeah, bro. So I had to change the beat on it, but I'm glad with how it came out. Yeah.
That's good, man. You know, you've always also, I think, even just you as a person, I think part of that might just be because of your background as a teacher and just always being involved in the community. You've always had what I would say like this conscious slant to your music, you know, and not like Mos Def, Talib Kweli, like that kind of space, but there's definitely been like you care about what's going on in the community and you're aware of, you know, things that are affecting our world and stuff like that, man. And so, man, I'm just, you know, I would just love you to, man, just share some thoughts on, you know, all the stuff that's been happening the past couple of years, from, you know, Trayvon Martin to Tamir Rice to, you know, man, just all these cases that we've had with police brutality and you know, unarmed men being gunned down, bro.
Right. I mean, it's not right. It's scary when the people who are supposed to protect and serve us, when they, you know, instances like that make us feel intimidated, you know, as black men, especially, you know, it makes us feel intimidated, you know, by them. So I did that show in St. Louis the other day that I was telling you about, and on my way, we drove, so now we're driving back from New Orleans, and I got pulled over.
Wow.
And my boy was in the car with me, and I got pulled over, and I mean, I was guilty. I can't lie, I was guilty of what they pulled me over for. But when they approached the car, it was just like, dang, bro, like I see stuff from so many different angles, because, you know, it's two white cops, it's late at night, they pull us over, and, man, I just complied, you know, like I know I broke a rule, a traffic rule, and they pulled me over, they come to the car, and my partner who I was with, he kind of started just, I don't know, man, like he got this chip on his shoulder to where me and him got in a big argument after, because it's like, dog, why are you antagonizing the police, bro? Like, I broke the law, dog. Like, okay, I was wrong for this, so they pulled me over. They didn't come here calling us niggers, you know. They didn't come here, you know. They didn't like do us anything, bro. Like, they came here, but when they come in and just dialoguing with us, primarily dialoguing with me, it's like you feeling the need to just jump in because you're like, oh, I hate all cops, and it's like I see it from both angles though, because we have so many Mike Brown, Trayvon Martin, Tamir Rice instances, and we got brothers in New Orleans who it happened to as well, who we know personally. You know, my partner Shamal Allen, like different people. That being said, you know, I understand that it's built up a wall in a lot of young black men, you know, to where anything having to do with the cops, we like, man, miss me with all that, bro. Like, I'm not trying to deal with them, you know, I don't trust them and all that. But I also understand the other side, which is, yo, who are we to judge everyone? Like that's like God saying, yo, Adam and Eve sinned, so you know what? The rest of y'all finna get the wrath of the Lord on y'all behind. You heard me? Like, I'm finna make y'all suffer because of what Adam and Eve did. And it's like, bro, like, no, like, that's the whole premise is you can't judge everyone, you know, based on what, you know, what a couple people's actions are. And that being said, I don't agree with the whole side of F the police or stop snitching or I don't trust no cops and all that stuff. My little sister she's in the police academy down here right now to be a cop. So it's like, you know, I wish somebody would try my sister or disrespect her, especially if she's doing her job the right way, you know, just because she's a cop. So it's like I see it from both angles, man. So I understand and I can relate to it because I have been harassed before, obviously, you know, all that type of stuff. I was out there with Mike Brown's grandma and his auntie. On the 6-month anniversary in Ferguson. The day after my show, I literally drove to Ferguson to the spot where he got gunned down at, and I was out there taking pictures and talking and dialogue and building with his grandma and his auntie who were out there. I had somebody who knew them who set that up. And, yeah, man, like, I see it from both angles, man, but I'm not an extremist when it comes to, you know, making judgment on people. You know, I might be bold about things I feel strongly about, but I'm not an extremist that wants to generalize any one type of person. So I'm not going to say all cops are, you know, fill in the blank. You know, it's not. I'd never be like that. So yeah, that's my thoughts, though, man. It's messed up on one hand, bro, and I'm, you know, I feel it. Like, trust me, I feel it. I go through it. But on the other hand, man, I've been in situations where it's like, come on, bro, like, we making this more difficult. We about to get arrested now, you know, for what they call it, like obstruction or just like, you know, just foolishness because
disorderly conduct.
Like, there you go, like, yo, I'm a black man. I'm about to assert my authority on these police. I ain't finna let them talk to me no kind of way. It's like, dog, they didn't talk to us crazy, you know, and that don't make me soft for saying that, you know. So yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting, man, because I was actually having this conversation with Derek Minor the other day, and he showed me a video of the cops gunning down an unarmed white man. Yeah, I mean, it was crazy, this video. Like, it infuriated me, man. Like, I was like, like, he had to change the subject because I was so mad because it was ridiculous. And so it
was it in Montana or something?
Nah, bro. It might have been. I don't know. He didn't even tell me where it was from, man. I think he just pulled this video up and he was in the studio, and I walked in and he was just like, "Hey, wait, check this out." And you know, he didn't really give me all the details of where it was from and all that. And I was so mad afterwards that he probably didn't want to talk about it no more. So, but it got me thinking, like, this energy that's out there. It might not even be so much a racial issue. It may just be with the way that some of these police forces are training their cops in terms of how to deal with people. You know, because, I mean, seriously, man, like, this is a white man, and I saw it, dog. Like, he had his hands up, bro. He was not a threat. And they just gunned him down, like, 5 shots. Bang, 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 bang. I was like, dang. Like, you know, it's like what it just blew me, man. It just blew my mind, bro.
That's sad, dog. Like, I'm sitting here like, I think that is what it is. So I curated a panel down here in New Orleans.
Yeah.
On police brutality and race relations and race perceptions. At Dillard University down here a couple of weeks ago, and I moderated and curated this panel, and we talked about that, and we were like, you know what's needed? We need, instead of having a panel with professors and students and community leaders on our thoughts on this, we need to, the next panel needs to be all police officers, because we need to hear from the horse's mouth, like, yo, what happens from the time you enter the police academy as just a person off the street, you know, who wants a job, employment, and whatever they're teaching you, what happens from the time you come in with, you know, I would perceive to be pure intentions to the time that you get this authority, you get this badge, you get this gun, and sometimes you go overboard. And that's the panel that I'm looking to be a part of, is that one, man. Because we trying to figure it out, you know. And I feel like that's the source is the actual policeman, and I don't hear from them enough.
Yeah, I've been doing a little research, and one of the things that I would be curious to hear the answer on a panel like that is how police policy influences those things. Because recently, the NYPD were basically boycotting going after like petty and small crimes in New York. And there was like a different energy because they weren't doing as much stop and frisk. They weren't doing some other routine pullovers that they would do when they were going after that. And so a part of me is like, man, is some of this aggression that we see in some cases based on some of the policies that they have to have a certain number of arrests and quotas that they need to meet? I don't know the answer to that, but I would just love to hear some police officers, particularly those that are high ranking, that are making some of these policy decisions, as well as the lower level that it affects, like, you know, how all that plays out and how that, how that influences what's happening in our communities right now.
See that? That's interesting, bro. That's interesting. I ain't gonna lie. Yeah.
Yeah. So this is crazy, bro. This is crazy, man. Well, look, D, man. It definitely won't be this long before we have you on the next time. I could promise you that.
I need that. Mm-hmm.
It definitely won't be that long before we have you on the next time.
It's been 5 years, bro.
I know.
5 years.
I know. It definitely won't be that, man. And like I said, man, hopefully we can work together in some other ways. You know what I'm saying? Like some of the stuff we talked about off the air, man. And we'll see what the Lord is doing, bro. But I'm happy for you, man. I'm happy you got this project out, and you got RCA behind you. You got the community behind you, and it's like you said, man. It's the start of something great, bro. And just want to encourage everybody that hasn't picked it up, get that Threes Up EP. It's in iTunes right now, man.
What? Definitely. Look, we still on air right now?
Yeah, we still on the air, brother.
Man, look, man, for everybody, this the part where, this EP, this stuff means the world to me. And just so y'all know the real deal, like, I'm not the person seeing the lion's share of the profits from this. You hear me? It's not even about that for me. It's like I signed to a major label, so truthfully, you know how that goes as far as profits for CDs. But I need everybody to go and scoop this, because it's literally about me opening a lane, that I'm really at the forefront of helping to create. And it's all about dollars and cents. People have to see that there's a demand for this stuff. And this mug is $4.99, bro. Like it's the same price as a Happy Meal. You know what I mean? Like this is crazy, man. Like if people really talk all that social media and in my face talk about they supporting and they can't go spend $4.99. Like, I know as black people, a lot of times we don't want to feel like we're contributing to the come up of another person because we insecure with where we at ourselves. Right. And with this, look, man, like, don't hold that against me, because that's definitely not what this is doing. This is about making statements for what we as a people, and when I say a people, I'm talking about human beings, what we want to see more of out here. So yeah, I need everybody to go scoop that mug up, man, and that's what it is. If not, when you see me, don't dap me, just nod. You know what I mean? Because don't even. Daps are reserved for friends and fam. You know what I'm saying? The people who really rock. If not, we could cordially nod at each other for real.
Yeah. Well, look, man. I don't have to buy much music because I'm a DJ, but I bought this project, bro, because I know the importance of what's happening right now with you and how it affects everybody, dog.
I appreciate it, big brother, for real. That means the world to me, man. Thank you.
Man,
I was sure gonna email it to you off air. Like, here, dog. I got to email it.
Nah, I had it. I already had it, man. I got connects at the label, dog. I had it, man. But I had to drop that $4.99, dog.
Believe it, man. Much love, man. Thank you, bro, for real.
You already know, brother.
On the Wado radio show. On the Wado radio. On the Wado radio show. Where it's much more than music, it's ministry.